love sweet God Manga. Lobster's a 10 on you, don't you grab it. This video is brought to you by T-Blocks. Enjoy the content now, but stay for the shilling later. Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnet and Friends. I'm here with my buddy Goro.
What's up?
And we are here to ring in the holidays with a very Christmassy, but not very, but you know, we used to do that whole sort of like Chris Mahana Kwanzaa thing. Now nobody really gives a shit about it anymore. Like, does anyone even like pretend to placate to Kwanzaa anymore? Like, I feel like it's been years.
Sometimes. But yeah, it's a lot less popular now.
Yeah, I want to meet someone who actually celebrates Kwanzaa, given the fact that it's like technically doesn't have any religious significance, and it was like started in the 1960s by I think some Black Panthers when I was reading up on it.
I don't know anything about Kwanzaa, to be honest.
Well,
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
we got I guess let's not delve too into it, because we don't want to get into, you know, any offensive territory for any Kwanzaa celebrators out there.
I'm sorry, Kwanzaa people.
Yeah, we're sorry we didn't get a Kwanzaa, you know, Dr. Stone cover. But we got a pretty good, awesome chapter of Dr. Stone.
Yeah, this is a great chapter. I was kind of happy with how the last rungs of this tournament came about. Yeah,
The Ginro thing was really, really funny. He gets the fantasy of village chief Ginro, and he's got the girl on his lap. Everyone's worshiping him. And
Yeah.
then a little illustration in his brain where it's like honest and nice and scummy.
yeah. I love the little scummy kindness to scummy diagram. That was like.
And then the
So
scummy
awesome.
bursts through, and he's like, "If I'm village chief, we'll eat ramen all the time, and everyone gets a harem."
this is Boichi with his facial fractures A game right now. I think.
Yeah. There were some really great fun facial fractures in this. Not quite as good as like the absolute pinnacle of like 34, which is still my favorite facial fracture of all time. But there were some good ones here, and you know, everyone's expression at like Ginro and like, you know, him like having his little power trip.
I don't know if that pinnacle of facial fractures can ever be surpassed now. Like,
no,
I think we gotta hold that.
Good.
We gotta hold that in, like, you know, that is the prime example of facial fractures. Everything that's gone on in this manga to that moment.
You know what we should do is like we should like make Zavul read like those three or four pages and see what his reaction. See if it's like so good that even he can like laugh at it with like next to no context and kind of hating the series.
We gotta remind him, but like, yeah, I forgot to tell him about that. We talked about this before.
The next time I think we do like grab him for like a triple review. We'll like record an extra video. And we can prepare beforehand. We'll have like a special diagram for a live reaction to our favorite facial fracture.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. But you know, there's some great stuff here, and you know, the whole, you know, this guy can never become chief, and like the idea of like, you know, Gimuru being this kind of like pathetic, lame guy who is kind of skeevy if he was given the chance for power.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, at first he's just like all cool about, like, you know, we're gonna just throw the match for Crow, no big deal. But then he kind of, Rory just like says a polite thing, and she's like, "That's okay. I don't mind who I marry." And then, you know, just takes that completely at face value, just like, "You don't?"
Exactly. It's like, I can have it all. Everyone gets a harem. There aren't even enough girls for that. That makes sense. Oh, how are you going to make ramen every day?
Yeah.
It was a great gag. And did you like how Seku actually, you know, winds up winning?
It was a clever little sciencey way of, you know, the right leverage with the right amount of force right into his nuts. And
yeah, oh man,
I like the little egg cracking
they love
yolk thing.
The nuts thing, the little breaking of the eggs. Boichi's going to town with his like nut jokes. You know, normally I wouldn't like it. I'd find it infantile, but here I find it surprisingly tolerable.
Yeah, I think it's just the way he draws it makes it really.
Does a better job of
Re-
selling the gag than it might be somewhere else.
yeah, he does a really great job of making these like hilarious scenes.
Yeah. And poor Chrome throwing, the poor guy was so close, and Seku was even going to give it to him, and now Seku is in a position where he's got the entire village, and he's got whatchamacallit, he's got the big beautiful priestess girl.
Yeah, Rory.
And it will probably be like a loveless marriage because Seku's largely seems to be asexual.
Yeah, can he just like change the rules like after he's village chief though? And, like
She can
say,
marry whoever she wants. Yeah, he could do that. He could hypothetical. Well, first he's got to cure her
right?
from her waifu-itis, whatever that means. But yeah, I'm excited. This whole tournament thing ended very nicely, and we got thrown a little. I mean, in some ways it feels like the most obvious outcome, but in another way it feels like everything was so windy and twisty. We still got to it through a way that we didn't expect to.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought we all thought Chrome was gonna win at the end, and like especially after beating Magma, but this little curveball is pleasantly surprising.
It's funny. This is like been the most engaging, unengaging tournament arc I've ever seen.
Engaging, unengaging? How do you mean by that?
Well, it's been really fun and compelling in a manga that shouldn't have a tournament arc. In a where basically there was only like one or two people who could like really fight, and then the rest of it is just about sort of like mild deceptions and because on a surface level, like, oh my god, they're fighting with these stupid wooden poles. Isn't that fun? And the fact that like no one can really fight except for like two or three of the combatants, but still this managed to be engaging. Still managed to like play with our expectations in terms of like who finally comes out on top, and kind of like throw us, the audience, for a loop as we were kind of like going through the motions, and sort of like, oh, maybe Kinru's gonna win because he beat Magma. Oh, but Kinru's out because Magma did something deceitful. Well, now it's Chrome. He's got to win. He's being built up to her. He's getting his big hero moment. But then, oh, no, Chrome, even though, like, when you think about it, it's like, oh, Seku's going to win because he's the main character, because the main character always wins.
Yeah.
But, we got our little thing that sort of defied that expectation.
Yeah. So, I felt like there was several directions it could have gone. Like Kinro could have won against Magma, and then Kinro throws the match for
Chrome.
I don't think. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think Kinro would like do that honorably. I think he would just like try and do his best to like become, do well in the tournament, and then he'd eventually just win outright or get tricked into losing somehow.
Yeah, and then there was Kohaku, who was like, the strongest fighter, and how she got eliminated. She could have won, and she could have like,
neutralized the whole tournament at the very end.
Yeah, exactly. Or could have been her versus Seku, and then she's like, "Oh, I want to abolish this," or there's like a bunch of things that could have happened, and even though like technically there were only two like real opponents in this, and everyone else in the tournament was basically people who are on our team.
Yeah. God, it's so funny, like how like the tournament people, the tournament referee guy was just like allowing all this like bullshit to happen, like while this tournament was going on.
The tournament referee was fun. He was kind of like a fun little deadpan character. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him almost as much as like the coughing guy from the Chunin exams in Naruto.
Yeah. The coughing guy.
Remember the coughing guy who always kind of looked like he had a cold? Next match will begin. And then he gets killed by like one of the sand guys.
Man, I feel like I vaguely know who you're talking about.
In the second phase, where they have like the one-on-one fights of the Chunin exam, not the main thing, the final tournament, but the secondary tournament that they have in terms of choosing who will advance. There's this guy, and he's like always coughing, and he's like the tournament organizer guy,
Mm,
referee.
don't remember him that well. I think I need a picture to remember.
Fine, I'll send it to you. I probably shouldn't. Actually, yeah, I'm like fucking up. I can't send you a picture.
Yeah, don't send me a picture then if you're gonna fuck up the.
Yeah.
the
But go look up the coughing guy. He kind of reminded me of it. But this is a very engaging chapter. Another winner of Doctor Stone. Even if it didn't have. I'm surprised how well comedy is working for Doctor Stone, because originally I didn't really think it would be a very and I wouldn't call it a gag manga.
Oh, now I know who this coughing guy is.
There we go. Now you know the coughing guy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. It's kind of amazing how well like Boichi's art style works well with comedy.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job with these gags, and like it's not just like the gags, but like how well he's like able to draw as well.
He's carrying these like 110%. Like I don't think it would be half as funny if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, and like there's beautiful illustrations alongside the gags too. Sometimes it just he's just really an amazing artist from these 39 chapters. Like, outstanding. I wish I could get a chance to like talk to him, meet him some point in my life. I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent.
Well, I definitely think he's really talented. I think like Dr. Stone has been consistently visually engaging. It's been really funny, really dramatic, really badass for something that like doesn't really have a setup that's really well designed for a gag manga or a battle manga. But yet his artwork has been managed to like consistently carry that infectious energy, the great humor, the dramatic moments, even through some of the weaker storytelling parts. And this ever since they got to the village, it's been consistently great.
Yeah, except for like, I thought the last chapter was a little bit not as amazing, but this particular chapter right now, this really put it in an upswing, I think.
It was surprisingly. I'm trying to remember what happened last chapter exactly.
Chrome defeating Magma, and it just felt like I don't remember why I particularly disliked it. I guess it just felt a little bit too
Too what? Too predictable?
Too predictable in some way. I don't remember. Just for some reason I disliked it, but it was in my previous reviews.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, but I don't know. I still thought it was well done with the Asagari again, and I'm casting a spell, and I'm taking advantage of it, and it was still a good thing for what was like kind of like a boring fight.
Right. Yeah. I like the Asagari appearance, though. Yeah.
I can't believe it. Even I thought it was gonna like ruin the manga, but even he started to grow on me.
Yeah, God, remember when he first appeared and like he's just like such a sadistic like character, just like how can anybody like possibly team up with him and like and how he's gonna ruin the whole camaraderie of like all these people.
All these people that we've been learning to like grow and love, and and then he's like gonna friggin' ruin it, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm Death Note light, and I'm super deceitful." But even he's managed to like start to become charming in his own way, and keep on doing these little mentalist tricks that I'm enjoying. And his sleight of hand. Although I still think the blood bag was bullshit. I call bullshit on that.
That was just funny. I thought it's great.
But Dr. Stone is consistently, all you Dr. Stoners out there, join the Dr. Stone hype train. I think this is going to be a winner, and this is going to be one for the ages. And if it gets a good anime adaptation, people are going to go ape shit over it.
Yeah, totally. This is
Oh God, though,
this A quality manga.
can you imagine if like Doctor Stone got like a Black Clover manga or anime adaptation?
Oh God. Oh God. That would be so terrible. Oh my God. Or that, in some ways that's kind of like it kind of reminds me of like the Bakuman anime adaptation, like
Yeah,
how
yeah, the
that
Bakuman
went.
wasn't great. That was not as bad as Black Clover, but it was like, basically like someone throwing molasses over all of the fun and energy and spunk of Bakuman.
God, Bakuman anime. What happened with the Bakuman anime? Like, the manga was, ugh, that deserved total Death Note treatment. Ugh, I was so, I was so angry after seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, that was a shame. There's part of me that kind of wants to watch the later parts of it, see if it got any better, but I don't think it did. Oh, but that would be a travesty. But Doctor Stone isn't even a year in, but I still think it's a really really strong piece of manga.
Yeah.
It's great when you have something that like gets you as like energized and excited, and it's just like pages on a screen as like something like seeing the Avengers Infinity War trailer. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's like a bit high considering that's like 10 years of like emotional investment over 18 movies. But like at the same time though, I'm always like surprisingly pleasantly surprised when I dive into each one of these chapters, and I'm pleased that like I'm like find it as engaging as like something like that, and that's what I mean when I'm comparing it to the Avengers. Not that it is like any stylistic similarities, just that it is as emotionally engaging as that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, Dr. Stoners, all of you out there, unite. Let's get
Yeah.
that equals MC squared cosplay out there.
Yeah, spread the word.
So
E equals MC squared tattoos.
that begs a question though. When Endurance Guy and Arts and Crafts Girl eventually make their return, do you think they'll ruin the series, or do you think they'll figure out something good to do with them?
Um, I I don't know. I mean, I think their characters have to change a little bit. Like maybe after all the stuff they've gone through, like being a spy with, for the Kingdom of Science, like they have had to endure a lot of hardships, and maybe like they're gonna go through like some serious character changes during then. Is
Maybe they
what
should just become evil.
Yeah. Like, what if they just become evil? Or just maybe something happened to, like, Endurance Guy's girlfriend, and Endurance Guy becomes evil.
Maybe. And then, like, Primate Guy's like, she's gonna be my breeder to build the strong civilization of youth. And then
Yeah.
this guy's like, no, you can't do that. And then he has to, like, force to betray Seku or something.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so because, like, it'd be really funny if they just never appear again. They get killed off screen.
It's just like become, yeah, they get killed off screen. It's like, oh my god, my friends, but I'm still got the determination to build the Kingdom of Science.
Because I do not miss them at all, and like I cannot think of any like benefit of like bringing them back, especially considering how the Village cast is like becoming so much stronger.
Yeah, the Village cast is way better. Like I love Kohaku, I love Chrome, Suika.
Yeah, they've
Jinro.
They've become much stronger than just like the guys who were there. It's kind of amazing. Even the referee guy is like growing on me. and Asagari again is like quickly growing into like a character I'm really starting to enjoy seeing more of.
Yes.
So
yes.
strong, it's interesting. It reminds me of a comment that like some Shonen Jump editors made that like the key to great manga is characters that you want to spend time with and be around.
Isn't that strange? Like the character we thought was like gonna be the main character throughout the whole series just got like dropped off in like the 10th chapter. Have you ever seen that before? Like, that seems like kind of a crazy, really bold strategy, but I really like it. We should just like try and replicate that. I think.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of was like maybe like Black Clover and the fact that Yuna hasn't been seen in a while, kind of maybe, but nobody gives a shit about Black Clover.
You know, he's not the main character. Asta is.
No, but like he's like the side character. Like I mean, Asta's the main character, but he's like pretty much the Sasuke of the series.
But okay, we started off the series with Endurance Guy's, like from Endurance Guy's perspective, is like gonna confess to his girlfriend. He meets his best friend who's a scientist. We spend the first chapter or chapters through Endurance Guy's perspective. He's turned to stone. He's enduring, everything, all thousands of years or whatever, while, encased in stone. He finally cracks from the stone. He has to find out where the hell everybody is. He finds his girlfriend. Then he finds Senku. And everything starts from there. And that's like over a series of like, I think 2 to 3 chapters.
Yeah, the first few chapters. Yeah, but Endurance Guy was completely boring, and he was just like a vessel for us to like be able to relate to Seku, and an excuse for Seku to explain all his scientific shit.
Yeah.
And he was completely boring. He had nothing interesting. He was like completely milquetoast.
Yeah.
And getting rid of him was the smartest thing. I wonder if that was like iShield 21 guys, or if like the editor was like, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Give me waifu material. Give me anything else except for this boring guy. And then like Boichi / iShield 21's like, all right, we're gonna give you 41 characters. We're gonna give you an entire village of people to choose from.
Yeah, I'm curious like how this all played out like behind the scenes. Like
I don't know if we'll ever know, but
how'd they make their decisions? Like, if this was, like, planned from the very beginning, or if it was, like, an editor's decision, like, throughout, in the middle of the manga, where maybe Senku, during the chapters when Senku was, like, having those 3 chapters of flashbacks, like, while he was having his fake
shit
death.
Was terrible.
Yeah.
While that's when the series went on life support. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, God.
But,
fucking fake deaths and like flashbacks to even try and sell this supposed death of Senku. Just like no.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. But we moved back on it, and Dr. Stoners unite. So what would you rate this chapter?
It's been uphill since. This is a 9 for me.
Yeah, I agree. It was a 9. It was thoroughly entertaining. It played with your expectations. It gave you, there's a good quote that I saw in some video somewhere where a guy says the best fights, always keep you, off, basically you don't know what's going to happen, but when the conclusion comes, it feels like completely inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
So Seku becoming the village chief feels inevitable, but at the same time, while we were going through the process of it, it felt completely unpredictable. And that's the best kind of most engaging storytelling you can have.
Yeah. That's true.
And so it was a really great chapter. Highly recommended. Go, next week, Cure-All / waifuitis, and we get to learn how she knows Seku's name and how his name passed into legend thousands of years in the future.
Yeah, can't emphasize enough. Whoever hasn't read Dr. Stone, start reading Dr. Stone.
Read Dr. Stone. Read Dr. Stone. Become a Dr.
Only
Stoner.
39 chapters.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can't believe it. Like it's kind of surpassing Promised Neverland. It's like my go-to shonen manga.
It already did for me. It already did for me.
Yeah,
a little while ago.
I'm still like really rooting for Promised Neverland to recover. So we'll see if that like gets to go up at a higher level. Although apparently, if you go like the aggregated ratings of the two chapters, they're kind of like neck to neck in series. They're both in like the top 5.
Well, Promised Neverland, I guess it's a little bit on an upswing since the last 2 chapters, I guess. But yeah, but I'm surprised. Like Dr. Stone should be a little bit higher, I think, than Promised Neverland.
Well,
still,
go check. I'll after this, I'll link you a place where I go every week where they post the rankings, and you can go check them out.
Okay.
It's always fun. I always check them out every couple of weeks. But all right, so thank you for listening to us talk about Dr. Stone. Become a Dr. Stoner and follow along. Give us comments and likes. Get cheap T-shirts so you can Dr. Stone yourself with clothing for the Stone Age.
And you can write E=MC squared in blood on your T-shirts.
Exactly, to show how hard you are. All right, so remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it. Do you like clothes but hate shopping? Then T-Blocks is the subscription service for you. But I know what you're thinking. But Lobster, how is that any different than Loot Crate or the other subscription services? Well, T-Block sends you t-shirts, which is clothing, which is actually useful, unlike the useless swag junk that Loot Crate keeps peddling on gullible schmucks. And this isn't just knockoff brand crap. T-Blocks hooks you up with licensed shirts for all the stuff you love, because you need clothes. How else are you going to keep your puny human man flesh protected from the elements? T-shirts are useful for any occasion. Wear them, give them to friends, give them to enemies, knit them together, make a quilt. T-shirts are life. And you know the best part? It'll only cost you $6.99. That's right, you can get 12 shirts sent to you for once a month for only $6.99. And you know what? If ultra cheap licensed goods are too basic for you, then there's also the Community T-Block set, which features original designs from the best up-and-coming artists so you can keep that hipster street cred. But I'm here to save you even more money! Use the code LOBSTERTBX at checkout and you'll save 10% on any order. Be a t-shirt wearing god amongst mortals. Use the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts now!
Manga